Alright, tool groupies, today we got KOBALT's 5-in-1 multi-tool. Basically, this is a long-nose wire stripper, reamer, crimper, cutter, and bolt cutter. Today I'm going to give you some of the specifications on this tool. Then I'm going to tell you what I think about it based on testing and the trade's experience. Just by looking at this tool, you can easily tell that I have used it in the trades because it's got some surface rust all over it. All I need is a sanding block and some WD-40 and it'll clean right up. But I wanted to show you that this is what this tool is going to look like after you use it for a little bit. That's where I usually prefer die stamping as opposed to laser etching. The laser etching will eventually wear off in time where die stamping will not. But you can still see the laser etched indicators that are on this tool. So I can easily determine which one of these holes I'm going to be placing the wire in based off the gauge of the wire. It does have a nice precision machined induction hardened steel cutting blade. As long as you're not cutting through anything you're not supposed to, there's no reason why this shear won't last you a good long time cutting through Romex. Wire stripping holes themselves have been precision milled. Out of all the times that I have stripped wires, and I'm talking about thousands of wires over the last few months, I haven't had a single issue where those wire strippers didn't cut through the insulation properly. There wasn't a piece left that was snagged on that I had to pull off, and there wasn't a single piece of copper that had indentions in it where this nicked it. That basically means it was lined up exactly the way it was supposed to be to strip that insulation. The AWG wire sizes that this will strip is 10 through 20 solid or 12 through 22 stranded. If you look at the way the tip of this is designed, it's actually nice and thick. Needle nose pliers are much thinner than what these are. They're great for reaching into tight confined spaces to pull out wires. When it comes to gripping, twisting, pulling, and looping, the torsion that's added to the tip of most long nose pliers will cause them to deform. Since this one does not have a hot riveted joint, it's got a hex fastener here in the center with a flat tip on the back. You can adjust the tension of these pliers. It's also got nice serrated teeth, so you shouldn't have an issue gripping, twisting, pulling, and looping wires. Design actually reminds me of Klein Tools multi-tool version. Obviously, you'll still be able to reach back inside of boxes to pull wiring out with these pliers. That eliminates the need to pack an extra set of long nose pliers with you to the job site. And in some cases, you could use this thicker head to actually twist wires, so that eliminates the need for a smaller lineman plier. On the outer edge here, you'll see these serrations. That's going to act as a file or a reamer in certain situations. Now, I personally like the fact that it's got spring-loaded jaws. Whenever I'm working with wires, all I have to do is open up the jaws like so, put them around the wire, and strip them. Then I can release the handle and they open right back up. Whenever I'm done using these pliers, I take the lock, put it back in place, and it's ready to go back inside the tool pouch. There is a little lip on the lock making it easy to open or close. It's riveted to the handle so you don't got to worry about a screw coming loose and it falling off. I've worked in the automotive and industrial mechanic industry. In recent years, I've been doing a bunch of HVAC and appliance repairs. I can tell you better than most, there's going to be a lot of situations you get into where you need a terminal crimper. It's an extra set of pliers you got to put in your tool bag and take with you on the job site. If you pull down the locking mechanism right here and open it up, you'll see that there's a crimper right here in between the handles. Now, it's going to be your basic generic crimper. It'll work with the most common things that you might encounter on a daily basis. Also built into the handle is two different bolt cutters. These are pre-threaded, so if you cut the bolt and run the bolt back out, it's going to correct the threads as it's coming out. The bolt sizes this cuts is 6 to 32 or 8 to 32. So if you're in the remodeling or electrical industry, you're replacing light fixtures and switches all day long, that's the two bolt sizes you're going to use the most. Once I'm done with the job, I lock these pliers in place, put them inside the tool pouch. Now, I do like the ergonomic dual molded grips here. These grips have worked fine for as long as I've had the pliers, but since these are the specialty pliers from KOBALT, they do have a tethering loop built into the grips. If you're climbing on ladders to put in new electrical fixtures, you're hanging from the side of a machine to do an electrical repair, you ain't got to worry about these falling down to the ground. Plus, it's got an M incorporated into the mold on the grips. So if these are upside down inside of a tool pouch, you glance over and look at it and see that M, you're going to know that it's a multi-tool. Now that we've went over some of the basics, let me talk about the downside that these pliers have. As you know, it doesn't matter what name brand you get or where they're manufactured at, there is going to be times that you run across a pair of pliers or a tool in general that's going to have some defects. The problem is, most of the time if it says made in China on it, you're going to have a higher chance of defects than you do any other country of origin. I'm sure there's people out there who have these exact same pliers who have experienced similar situations. As you can see right here on the two bolt cutting holes, I cannot use the 6 through 32 feature. That's because they did not drill out the hole on the other side. Now, as I said, rust is just going to happen naturally on any pair of pliers that you got. The best thing you can do is sand them and oil them as much as you can, as often as you can. That will help maintain the lifespan of your tool. Now, I don't expect these to be like Klein Tools, Knipex, or Channel Lock. If you use pliers like this in a variety of different environments like I have, you're going to expose them to certain atmospheres that will impact the way they perform. I've been inside of a lot of hot, sweaty situations where the plier grips start to loosen up because of the amount of force I'm applying to the handle. And that's something that I have experienced with these KOBALT pliers. The grips have recently started sliding off of the steel handle. Now, I can always glue them back together myself, or I can cash in on that hassle-free lifetime guarantee. Lowe's doesn't give me a bit of trouble when I go in there to warranty something out. I take the pliers, get the replacement, replacement, go up to the service desk, sign a piece of paper, and walk out the door with a new tool in hand. Hassle-free lifetime guarantee does not require you to have a receipt when you return them to the store. There's a lot of tool brands out there who will. If you factor that into the price of $25, this is a damn good set of pliers to have. Instead of me taking these for a warranty, I decided to give you all a tool review instead. Want to know my 100% opinion on this tool? Here it is. I went back and picked me up a second pair of these KOBALT 5-in-1 pliers. The performance is good enough on these tools for me to take them with me on the job. Obviously, I'm going to try out other tools in the future, and we're going to have side-by-side comparisons. We're going to test them out, and we're going to see exactly how well they hold up versus other brands. But in my opinion, this one was well worth the price of $25, and that's why I went and picked up another one. Now, after this video, if I want to take this one and warranty it out and get a new one, I will. Having two pairs is going to be great on the job, because there's some times where I have someone coming with me to do a job, and whenever they're there on the job site, I don't want to share my tools with them. If I'm paying them for a job, I can hand them a set of pliers and say, here you go, put this in your kit, go do that job. And if they do the job good enough, they might end up taking it home with them. Now, obviously, you can see these tools tested in the trades by popping that clutch, subscribing, or following along on these social media platforms. But the best feedback I'm going to be able to give you is from you. If you're someone who has these pliers, comment down below. Tell us what you think about them based on your trade, your experience, and the type of jobs that you've done.